So if you're seeing this video, then hopefully it finds you at the right time when you need it. Hopefully this video finds you rather than you finding it. And I have a very important message that I want to bring across to you guys. And that message is, don't go back. Don't do it. It's never worth it, actually. I don't know what it is that you're contemplating going back to. I don't know if you're thinking about going back to that relationship that has caused you great pain and great suffering in the past, or you're thinking about going back to your old self or your old habits that keep you stagnant. But whatever it is that you're contemplating going back to, please don't do it. See, you can't get to a different destination by taking the same route. And you cannot become a better version of yourself, and you cannot elevate, and you cannot ascend by going back to the same people that cause you a great deal of suffering, or going back to the same habits that keep you stuck. You can't. I believe a lot of us are so stuck in our comfort zone, right? We might have people in our lives, or we might have habits that we're so used to doing. And because these things are in our comfort zone, we cling on to them. And these are the things that are actually serving as barriers between who we are now and who we can evolve into and who we can become, right? And so in order for you to progress, in order for you to ascend, you have to let these things go and let these people go, right? In order for you to elevate, sometimes you have to leave your world that you have right now behind, right? And I know it can be an uncomfortable process, right? Because when you're so used to these things, you kind of make them your identity. You say to yourself, if you were to give up these things, what would you become? Or if you were to give up these people, could you do better? And that right there is the same mindset that keeps us stuck. That's the same mindset that keeps us stagnant, right? And so things that come into your life, right? And when you want better things to come into your life, sometimes you have to just let go of the things that you have right now, right? Sometimes you just have to say, I'm moving on. And you're not moving on out of the mindset of anger or resentment or hatred, from people that have done you wrong. But you're moving on with love. Because at the end of the day, and I've always said this in my previous videos, the main relationship that you have is the one that you have with yourself, right? And so if there are people right now in your life, or rather yet, if there are things that are keeping you stuck right now in your life, you have to let them go. And it's entirely possible for you to let them go with love. See, love isn't always this nice, pleasant thing, right? Sometimes love can be harsh. Sometimes love requires you to make harsh decisions, right? Sometimes love requires you to let go of people that you love right now, or people that you once loved. And that's the reality. But the main relationship that you have is the one that you have with yourself. And so if you're not working on cultivating that relationship with yourself, and if there are people and there are things serving as barriers between you and the relationship that you have with yourself, then I would suggest letting them go. And like I said before, you don't let them go out of hatred or anger or resentment. You let them go out of love for yourself. Because if you don't have yourself, who else do you have? Right? If you don't work on the relationship that you have with yourself. If you don't pour into yourself, then you cannot pour into other people. Right? But if you keep going back to the same old things, then you'll stay the same person. You'll never truly evolve. Evolution, believe it or not, is uncomfortable. It can be. Right? There's this quote that says diamonds are made under pressure. And in the same way, you don't become a diamond until you feel some sort of pressure. And that pressure might come from, letting go of your old world and stepping into a new one. And so, whatever it is right now that you're thinking of going back to, don't do it. Let it go. See, life is about progress. Life is about expanding, evolving, becoming more of who you are, right? Or better yet, elevating, growing. That's what life is about. And if you have people in your life, and if you have things that are stopping you from becoming that person, then I don't blame you for letting them go. As a matter of fact, I'm encouraging you to let them go. Right? Let them go and allow yourself to find freedom. I know you might believe that there might not be better things out there and better people out there than the ones that you have right now in your life. But that's all from your mind. Your mind is what's keeping you stuck. But if you cling to that idea, then that will be your reality. If you cling to that idea, then you never truly find better. So I say all this to say, let go. Right? Don't go back. It's never worth it. Prioritize yourself. And if something is holding you back from becoming who you want to be, or if something is preventing you from evolving, then you have all the right to let it go. And don't be afraid. Do it with love. Do it with love for yourself. Peace and blessings.